Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. Today we're back at you with a little bit of Ratchet history. What we have here is a set of obviously Craftsman Ratchets, but this was the set that kind of fell into kind of an in-between era and didn't last long. And these are probably, this set here is probably the hardest one to find of the raised panel. By raised panel I mean that they have these panels here that are raised and they have the Craftsman name on them, and also on the back they have forged in USA in the case of this Ratchet. But like I said, these were kind of an in-between. Not sure why they produced these and what the deal was, but we're going to jump into a little bit of history. But before I start, if you could do me a favor, I'm trying to reach a goal by the summer, hopefully, that I want to reach 2,000 subscribers. And the only way I'm going to reach it is if, you know what, you give me the HBO special. What's the HBO special? HBO special is help a brother out. Help a brother out, hit a like, and hit that subscribe button. And I'll give you 2 seconds to do that. Okay, you guys that hit those buttons, I really appreciate you. Okay, so this is the set that kind of probably is the rarest of the raised panel Craftsman ratchets. It's the same as the quick release, but these weren't quick release, as you can see here. But they kind of look like other ratchets in the raised panel history. Let me take this out and put some other stuff here that might make it a little bit go through the history here of the raised panel ratchets. Okay, the raised panel started with this one. This one was called the long lever because you can see here has kind of a long lever, and this one looks the most like the one that I'm talking about in this series, in this episode. And you can confuse these two, but I'm going to show you, if you want to get that one, what to look for and not get this one, even though this one's kind of a little bit rare too. You don't see these as often that much. This is the timeline from 50s, late 50s, from late 50s to mid 60s, from mid 60s all the way into the 90s, and then this came upon in the 90s. This is the quick release. This one's the teardrop, I believe. This one's the flying V and the long lever. This is, I don't know if this one really has a name, but I guess it's the non quick release. So strange thing here is that they all have 30, no, these all have 32 teeth. These 12 half-inch, this is all half-inch models. These half-inch models here have 32 teeth. This one has 36, and believe it or not, this older one here has 40 teeth for some reason. I don't know why they went down instead of up. They went to 32 after this one instead of keeping it at 40, or what the deal is. As far as rarity, okay, these two up here you can find everywhere. Garage sales, flea markets, eBay, these are all day long. They sold millions of these ratchets, and you can easily find them anywhere. And they're, I wouldn't say they're cheap, but they're not too expensive to find a set. And like I said, they're pretty much everywhere. Then going down a little bit is the flying V. The flying V is a little bit less. It's a little bit more harder to find, I should say. It's not hard to find though. You can find these pretty much regularly. Not as easy as these two up here, but you can find the flying V's pretty pretty readily. eBay, garage sales, these pop up, so not that hard to find. This one here, the long lever, kind of a little bit harder to find, being older, and these weren't around that long. I think this had maybe a couple of year lifespan, where this had maybe like 6 or 7 years, the Flying V lifespan. So this one didn't have much of a lifespan, and being that I'm thinking, or a lot of people think, these ratchets, even though they seem fine, they seem good, is the lever. You see how far that lever just sticks up from the ratchet, and what happens a lot of times you drop your ratchet, and it's very common to find these with bent down levers or broken levers. These were easily broken. I'm not sure what metal they used for the switch, but it wasn't really like a really tough metal, and just the ergonomics of it, where the lever just sticks up in the air like that, it caused problems, I think. And so this one, yeah, a little bit more rare to find, but these you can find them, just not as easy. This one here is, I think, the hardest one. This definitely is the hardest one to find. Not sure how long this lasted. It was when this first came out, in the mid to late 60s, the quick release. This one was also in the catalog along with this one. This one would cost less than that one. Of course, the quick release was the new fad or the new gimmick in Ratchet, so that one commanded more of a premium than this one, but this one could be had also for some reason. I don't know if they made them. They made a batch of these before quick release, and then they just switched production to quick release. These were all made by Eastco, I think, for the most part, or more Drop Forge, I think, was Eastco before Eastco started, or I'm not sure what happened. More Drop Forge turned into Eastco, or were bought by Eastco, I'm not sure, but this could be more Drop Forge, and then as I think it turned into Eastco as it progressed over here, and this could be the last Eastco, or when Danaher took over from Eastco and bought up Eastco, and I think they had already developed this one, the teardrop, but they ran with it. Danaher ran with it after Eastco was bought up. So let's take these off the table, and I just want to concentrate on these two, because if you're looking for that one, you're probably going to run into this one, and you're going to think that it's the same one, especially since you're not going to be able to see this. You're not going to be able to see these ratchets up close usually, because you probably, unless you're really, really lucky, you're not going to run into these at garage sales usually. The place to look for these is going to be eBay, and eBay, the photos, they might just give you one photo, and it might be far away or not clear, so these might look very similar. But so if you're looking for that one, like I said, you might run into this one and think that it's that one, if you already have this one in your collection, but you're looking for that one. I'm not trying to confuse everybody, but that's just what it is. Okay, what differentiates these two is the switches, but like I said, you might not be able to see them from up close, but there are other tells here that, not just the switch. Another tell is that these panels here on the earlier one were rounded. You see how it's rounded here? You see the ends around it. This one, by this time, the panels were more squared off. So you can see the difference in the panels there. The lettering looks similar, looks the same. Not much difference there. Another difference is this flat area, and where the what do you call it? The snap ring, or the retention ring, where the way it looks and how it's situated. You see the retention ring on this earlier one, it has this very small flat area here. This one has a big flat area there. And you see how the retention rings are kind of like close together there, like two teeth like coming down there. This one has wide, the tips of the retention ring are wide apart. And you see how this one kind of curves, this angle here, this little ridge there. This one doesn't come down as much and curves around, as you can see there. You see that? But the big giveaway here, if you're looking at them from afar, is going to be this big area, flat area. And the switch, this one is flush to, you can see it's flush there to the ratchet body. It's kind of a longer switch there, not longer this way, but kind of taller there. And this one, if you see the side profile of this one, it's going to be obvious what it is. This one doesn't touch the body at all. The switch part that sticks out doesn't touch the body at all. It kind of just floats in the air there. And that'll be a dead giveaway as far as that's concerned. And another thing, this one might be a little bit subjective maybe, is that usually this one, the long lever, has a chromed anvil and mechanism or gear here. See how it's chromed? And this one usually is black. So if you see a chrome one, it might not be what you're looking for. It might be a long lever. So those are like the three main things to look for if you want to differentiate these two. The rounded edge on the older one and the squared off edge, this big flat area, that small flat area, and kind of the silver anvil there. This one has a black anvil, but again, the writing, it's similar, almost the same. Forged in USA. Another thing about these is that they never came with model numbers. They always came forged USA with the V. They don't have model numbers like the quick release did. The quick release, that's its twin brother. That's when Craftsman started coming out with model numbers for their ratchets. Starting with that model, that quick release model onwards, they started putting numbers. These early ones, no. And the Flying V, no. The Flying V is the same as these, just forged in USA with a V. So is when we went beyond this one, is that we saw, and all the model numbers started coming out. So yeah, there you have it. That's kind of the mysterious non-quick release ratchet from like the mid to late 60s, probably around for maybe a year or two. Kind of hard to find. Alright guys, until next time.